Yes! Peace, my brothers and sisters. We're live. ALTBAYS Show, brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz. Yes, we're still sponsoring ourselves, waiting for you guys to jump on board, okay? This show happens here, ALTBAYS Studio in Whitianga. So if you want to do your vlog or online meetings or even run your own podcast, you get in touch with us and we will get you sorted. And ALTBAYS.nz also does a bunch of cool things like video production. So if you're looking into improving your online presence with great content, that's us. Get in touch and we will get you sorted, okay? Today's a great day. This is show number 35. How cool is that? We've been doing this for 11 weeks, 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 7 p.m. It's live on YouTube, and then as soon as the show is done, you can watch the whole video again on YouTube, and on the next day, it becomes available on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, pretty much all the main ones. You find us there. The best way to support ALTBAYS is to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to hit the like button if you like it. If you don't, you put dislike and you still help us anyway. Isn't it amazing, the internet?
Isn't there like a down thumbs button, though?
Yeah, but you gotta suck to give us a down thing.
Oh,
but anyway,
saying, there is that button as well.
Yeah, no, you're right. There is. That's what I'm saying. It still helps, but it's not as great.
It's not as great.
And we've been doing this with the support of some beautiful friends and some beautiful people. Taylor and I, we still have our full-time jobs. So for us, it's a big thing. We're working our 30, 40 hours per week, and then we come to the studio every night. It's not as simple like coming at 7 p.m. and running the show. It's not how it works. There's a lot of production involved, a lot of technical parts that Taylor is into, and we have to contact a lot of people. So yeah, it's a lot of work, and we're lucky that we had support from some of our friends. So this week, I'm just going to give some shout outs to some of the friends who supported us on this journey. Mr. Ethan Lassiter, he helped us a lot with the jingle at the start of the show. He created that. We worked together. And if you wanted that kind of service for your company, you get in touch with him. He does some welcome greetings and on-hold music for business. And he's a great guy. So his website is ovo.co.nz. Shout out to Ethan. And the ALTBAYS logo, a lot of people talk about the ALTBAYS logo, and we're such big fans of the work of Tyler Downey. He's a fantastic guy. He's an illustrator and a designer, and he helped us. He came here, we had a great chat. He got the idea and he created the beautiful ALTBAYS logo. So if you want to get in touch with Tyler, you can go on his Instagram account. Is IllusTyler. ILLUSTYLER, and is also the same name for his website, IllusTyler.com. Great guy, great family. His partner Ellie and her parents run the banana boat in town, so like it's a family very well known in the Coromandel. Beautiful people, one of the first families that I met almost 9 years ago when I came to Whitianga, and they are the most amazing people, so shout out to them. And another thing that people ask me a lot is about this table, Brett. And we're so happy to give a big shout out to Roger Harwood from Coroglen, a great friend of ours. He really supports what we're doing, and he gave us this beautiful table.
Is his last name Harwood?
Harwood,
It's
yes.
a funny coincidence. I like
Yeah,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's great, right? So
The only way would be better if his name was like Tablewood.
I know, right? And he's a great guy. He's way cooler than a table. His email is RHA.
He's way cooler than a table. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go.
He's a good friend of mine, beautiful man. RHAwood@gmail.com. He's also on Facebook and a bunch of like social media. So just look for Coroglen and get in touch with the bro. Now, before I forget, this Saturday, Braid Quake Riddle, the MMA fighter, is coming to Whitianga, and that's awesome. So if you're into martial arts or any of these modalities, he's running this, I think it's kind of like a workshop, a 2-hour thing from 12 to 2 p.m., $50 per person. The guy is a monster. It's going to be awesome. So it's a great opportunity for us to learn something from a professional. And our friend Tepaya, our co-host, she came second in one of the New Zealand nationals no-gi competitions that happened, I think was yesterday or Saturday. So shout out to Tepaya. Yeah. Brett, we recorded this in one of the shows at the Coroglen Tavern, man.
Is that right?
Have you been to the Coroglen Tavern, Brett?
I actually haven't. I know that's kind of
That's
bizarre.
terrible.
I know it's pretty bad.
Now we have to, right? Now we have
Well,
to
I
take you
kind of
back.
have to, go there and have a glass of water.
I'll tell you a secret.
And
What
a
other
mosh pit.
non-alcoholic stuff you got?
Before we actually bought the Tav, I grew up here, never went to a concert.
Really?
I've never actually still been to a Coroglen concert.
What?
I have worked them, but not.
And that's how I introduce the owners of the owners of the fantastic Coroglen Tavern, Jed and Michelle.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
This is cool. Michelle, why you haven't gone to a gig yet? Come on.
I have no idea. I don't know. I just never went.
You working?
Yeah. Working.
always working.
Yeah, always working them. Yeah.
Maybe
and
we could brainstorm and figure out why. Now that there's two
Yeah.
people here who've never been, we can figure out what have we got in common. Wonder why that's happened.
Exactly. There must be some sort of connection there, right?
Too busy getting messed up and fitty to make it all the way out to Coroglen, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly.
So when did this venture started? When you guys were like, cool, let's do this. Let's go for a venue that brings awesome music and does cool things in this town.
It's a funny little story, really. we sort of fell into it. My parents owned the Coroglen Tavern, the land and buildings, way back when David and Gary had it, and then they took it over, and then they were looking to sell it a year later, and we were living in Wanaka at the time, but we wanted to move back to the North Island, and we were in Kerikeri looking for a place, and my mum rang and said, look, we're going to put it on the market. Do you guys want to buy a pub? And we're like, well, we love pubs. Let's go, let's do it. Yeah, so we just bought it off them.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
so we're
cool.
quite lucky, because we did want to come back to Whitianga, but we just didn't know how. We didn't know where we'd find work.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you from here though? Were you guys born in?
Yep.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
He
No,
was.
yes,
I
yes.
wasn't. I was Rotorua, but moved here when I was
Rotorua?
9.
Right. Two Whitiangas?
Yep.
Smells better here too, eh?
Yeah. Ellie was my first friend.
Really?
We lived up Mill Creek. Yeah, she was my first friend. Yeah.
beautiful.
So I love her dearly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Jed?
I grew up here, went to school here.
Coromando.
Yeah, born in Thames.
Oh, I was born in Thames as well.
There you go.
There might be some sort of connection there.
There you go. Yeah, we're all about the connections here tonight. So you guys grew up here, and then when was the first move for each one of you? Like out of the Coromando and then coming back? How did that happen?
Both at the same time, pretty much.
Yeah, we were young when we met. We were 20, and we went to London. We moved overseas, and we lived in London for a
Why
bit.
London?
Why not?
Why
Yeah,
not?
why not?
Great.
That's where all the
No, it was a
Kiwis go, eh?
start.
Go to London.
Yeah, go to London. So we started there. We ended up in America, but we tripped around a bit, and it was awesome. But yeah, and then when we got back, we got married, had babies, and decided that we needed to travel more. So we moved to Wanaka.
Were you guys involved with venues, with bars before?
No.
Never.
No. You were
Apart
involved
from
with
drinking.
London pubs.
A lot. Yeah.
That was our experience.
That was, and we loved them.
Right. That's what I hear about London. It's just that beautiful,
Yeah,
like underground
it was
pub
rad.
scene.
It was a vibe. Yeah, it was really cool.
Cool gigs. Do you guys remember going to nice
Yeah.
music things?
So
or-
we lived right opposite the Hammersmith Polo. So there were gigs happening there all the time. I saw Al Green there. That was pretty rad. That was just amazing. Black Seeds were there, once.
Oh,
And
cool.
we
Black
went to
Seeds
Black
were there,
Seeds.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
cool.
Do you remember, Jed? I was there.
Yeah. We had to look through a few photos.
London's kind of patchy.
What do we do?
And then America.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
long did you guys stay in America for?
like 4 months, a winter
6 months?
season.
Yeah.
A winter season.
We lived
Yeah.
in Santa Fe,
Santa Fe.
New Mexico.
Is it? Oh, okay, thanks. I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Yeah, I was trying to
So what? The winter in New Mexico is pretty.
Snowy.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Was it high desert or
worked-
something?
Yeah,
is
we
it?
worked in the mountains.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh, was it? Is it like the Sierra Nevadas? Is that what it would be? No.
No idea.
No
Never
idea. I don't even know what was the mountain called.
It was a
Santa
Santa
Fe.
Fe.
Oh, okay. I don't even know. I know it's like New Mexico. It goes California, then New Mexico, right? And then
New Mexico like borders like
Texas or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
down the bottom
yeah.
there. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know many mountain ranges to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not really
Yeah.
too sure, but
I'll Google it. Taylor, Google it. No.
Did you guys have in mind to maybe not coming back to New Zealand at some stage, or not? It was just like a
no,
trip,
that was always on
let's-
the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the card. Right. And after America, nah, that's us. New Zealand, back home.
Well, we got pregnant.
Might as well go back home.
And we did think, like we could have a backpack baby and travel the world and be awesome and sleep in airports and that sort of thing. But, the reality of having a child is not backpacking around for us.
Yeah.
People do it and I think it's freaking rad, but it didn't work out for us.
Yeah, I don't think it happens as easy as you think it will.
No, no. And we were poor. We were so poor. How could we travel with this baby and survive? We didn't know how to do it.
It's hard work having a baby. Just I think at the best of times, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for you, I'm guessing. You're probably out at the pub. I don't know.
No, he's a good dad. He's a good dad.
So when you guys came back and you said you were in Kerikeri and then Wanaka, is that right?
Yeah, we were just tripping around up north,
Right.
just trying to find a place to live, and it just seemed nice and warm and different.
But what took you guys to Wanaka? Because there's a completely different lifestyle, right? So I was just like, why
We
not?
went there on holiday and then came back and thought that was nice.
Such a beautiful place.
Let's go
hey?
there.
Such a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's
Wanaka.
amazing.
Do you guys like snowboard or ski or something?
Yes.
Or you? Oh, you do.
Yeah.
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 I figured as much when
Yeah.
you're talking about snow.
Yeah,
Going to Wanaka.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our kids love it too. The mountains.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the little snowboardings now.
What's the
Yeah.
mountain range by Wanaka called? No, it's a test. It's a test. Because you didn't know the
Southern
last
Alps?
one. Yeah. Southern Alps.
Come on.
Smashed it.
I suppose. That was a guess.
That's probably right. Google that as well.
Just believe me.
Yeah. Oh man, we do. No one will go like Google stuff. Hey Taylor, just keep it going. Right, and then the Coromando. What were you guys doing before the tavern? Why before buying the tavern? What was happening?
You were signwriting,
Yeah.
and then I was building for a little. This was after we came back from overseas. Shell started up her signwriting company again, and I was building, and then I left building to start doing a bit of landscaping, and did that, and then signwriting took off, so I jumped in signwriting with Shell, and we both did that for a while, and then left to go to Wanaka. Yeah,
Wanaka.
and I don't know. It was about
I was
that.
a mum.
Yeah,
Mom.
I was a mum down there.
yeah.
Do you still do signwriting at all?
No,
No.
just tab stuff and that sort of thing. But
Oh yeah.
She's still a good designer. Like,
Yeah.
designs everything for us. Yeah.
Do you do all those posts for the Coroglen? Because they're polished, they're good. I always look at them like, oh, okay, they're good. Yeah.
I try.
Nice.
There's good apps nowadays,
Yes.
It's really not that hard.
True.
Don't have to cut it out by hand with like
No.
a scalpel way.
Yeah,
like-
and do the weeding and then,
Yeah.
geez, line it up.
But then, did you guys get to meet Gary and David?
Yes. Just briefly, not a lot. We met David once, I think.
Yeah, maybe once.
And
I
Gary
think.
still comes to the pub every now and then, like when he's back and stuff, he'll pop in. He's really good friends with Ginny, who is still at the pub. He'll pop in and see Ginny and say hi and knows her family and stuff. So yeah.
He was the guy who actually made me feel comfortable in Whitianga because I got a job at On Fire. I don't know if you guys remember that jazz
Yeah.
cafe that used to be
Yeah.
by the beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was working at the bar. He was the bar manager at the time. And I remember when I came to the place, I was like, oh, cool, this is cool. Would be cool to live here and get a job here. And then I asked for a job. And the guy was like, "Oh, what can you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I can make some cocktails, but I'm actually a drummer." So I got the job more for being a drummer.
Yeah.
So I could be like a resident musician.
Well, he's musical too, isn't he? He plays guitar or something?
Yeah, and he
was a singer?
sings. He's a powerful singer.
Cool.
And then I remember coming to the bar, and then I looked over the counter, and there was this guy, like, and he's got the features, right? Like he's got this very like interesting face, and I was looking at him and all the tattoos on his arms. I'm like, man, looks like Ronwood from the Rolling Stones. You know, like that was the first thing that came to me. I looked at him, I was like, whoa, wow, look at that guy. And just like the kindest human being ever, you know, like we connected, and I couldn't understand a word that he was saying because he's Dutch. So for me,
his
like,
accent.
my English was, you know, getting a little bit better, but when you get someone who is also speaking a second language, then you have to deal with two accents. You know, like it's an extra barrier there. So like, and I was like, oh God, just points at the alcohol that I have to mix with what, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But then we connected through music. That was the thing. He was like, oh, you play the drums, I sing, and I remember him telling me the stories about the Coroglen Tavern. He was, man, that was such a cool place for us, you know, like was such an experience to meet all these bands and to be part of it, you know. And I was like, oh,
they'd have some amazing freaking stories too, you know, like, because the tavern as it is now and with all the rules and different things, you know, back when they had it, it just would have been wild. It would have been amazing.
How long do they have it for?
I think it was like 8 years,
I think
like
it was
a
8
long
years.
time.
Yeah.
It was a good stint,
And then did they own that fireplace after that, or just he just worked there?
No. He was just working there. Yeah, not for long as well. It was just an interesting time that I was there, and then we met there. But his partner David, very interesting guy. He passed away not a few years ago. Yeah, but I remember like the stories of them being quite like influence in the LGBTQ like scene of like fighting for gay rights in New Zealand, and like probably one of the first gay marriages in something like that. I remember them being quite vocal about that, you know. So for me it was like, man, look at these guys, you know, like running such a cool venue and doing the thing in Whitianga.
Pioneers,
Amazing.
Yeah. And then I heard about you guys, and I was like, man, cool, you know, like the different vibe for sure will be different, but like so cool that these people are keeping the thing alive, because it's such an iconic venue, right?
It is.
Yeah, I remember the first gig that I watched there was Catch a Fire. They
Amazing.
always come, They're so good how you guys keep them.
This is the first year that we haven't had them.
Yeah, last summer.
Yeah, they were meant to come on like the 21st of January, but something happened. It didn't happen. COVID's been a prick.
COVID,
know?
That's got to be a tough couple of years, right? With COVID
It's been
going
interesting.
Because I noticed that your opening hours changed significantly.
Absolutely.
Like
Well,
over
there's
I'd be like,
tourists
what?
as
They've
well.
bloody closed again.
Yeah.
So not that I went anyway. But
Just when you popped in,
yeah. Just drove past and complaining, you know, as people do.
Yeah.
It
Well,
must
there's
have been
no
the hard
tourists,
period.
you know, because we're a big destination as well. So in the winter, when there's tourists around, we get a lot of them come here. But with New Zealand in lockdown, and you know, there's only so much money the locals have to come and spend. You know, we can't expect them to be there 7 days a week.
No,
so,
fair enough. Yeah, and how many locals really are there in Coroglen anyway? Like,
there's a lot more than what you think.
oh really?
Yeah, it's a bustling little community, really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
What, just down the Tapu Coroglen Road?
Yeah,
I don't know.
everywhere. There's more than one road.
You've got that one competition pub as well, don't you? That one on the corner of the Hot Water Beach turn off just before there.
Danny's place.
Is that what it's called? Is it?
No, Seabreeze.
Hot water brewery.
Hot Water Brewery,
Hot
sorry.
Water Brewery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Danny.
Oh no! I'm talking about that garage that's always got people drinking in it. You know
Yes. I know the one.
that's why it's got a name, Danny's place. Like,
It's actually George's place.
George's
And they didn't close during lockdown. They're
No, they
amazing.
did not
7 days, morning, night.
Oh, Hot Water Brewery though. You guys sell their beer and stuff there, or
no,
they
we're
keep
tied
it?
with
They
Lion.
keep it to theirs.
Yeah,
oh,
we're
Lion
tied
Breweries.
with
That's
Lion,
right.
so we can do wholesale with them, but we can't do it over the bar.
Because their beer's real nice too, eh?
Yeah,
I really
we go
enjoy
down
it.
there quite often.
There's another place I've never been to.
Come on.
Yeah.
And you live here?
Yeah, I know, right?
What
Too
a
busy
local.
working.
What a local.
You guys have, and I remember we had a chat before lockdown when you were working on that the Corona bar.
Oh, yeah, on
Is
the
it still Corona thing? Oh no, it's not.
Yeah, no,
It has
well,
Corona umbrellas.
Right.
And that's it. Yeah. We got in an Airstream, and we were going to open up a Corona bar just in summer, you know, because it was all decked out. But it just never worked out. It was, you know, minimal staff.
COVID.
COVID. It was just.
Yeah,
it's just
I
been
remember it was
shit.
kind of like just
Yeah.
before lockdown. Hey, such a
Yeah.
shame.
But
It's a great idea though.
it'll happen. You know, it's all set up, ready to go. We just need more people. You know, more staff, more everything.
Has it been a bit of a struggle come back, like to the old times? Like what's your like what are you running like now compared to before? Like it's not back to 100%.
God, no.
Is it?
No,
You know?
not at all. No, not until like the world actually opens up properly.
Yeah.
It won't be like before.
So when you say tourists, you mean like literally like
International
from
tourists.
international
people
tourists?
that come
Okay.
from overseas,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Like we've got a good New Zealand tourism and that sort of stuff, but internationally, like Hot Water Beach, Cathedral Cove, Kortunu, you know, like just the peninsula in general, people want to come here, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
And we're on the main road.
Yeah,
you
we're
have
on the main
to go
road.
past to get into
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
exactly.
You know, so they stop.
Yeah, it is a big one. It was a big one, and it's still affecting so many. Did you guys? Was there a point that you were like, "This is not sustainable," or you guys were like, "No, we're gonna make it through. Let's keep going," or it came to your mind like, "Should we?"
No, well, that's where we sort of adjusted, like you said, the hours, our days. You know, like we went through all the books. What day is our worst day? When are we actually making money? How can we, like, we couldn't get as many staff as what we wanted. How do we sustain staff hours and actually not burn them out and whatnot?
What a shame, eh?
Yeah, it's like the last 2 years has just been so different. And then, so that's why we did all that. But as soon as the borders open up, you know, you've got the travellers that want to work for 6 months. You've got, you know, just people around all the time.
You can start paying your parents' lease again.
Well, we bought the land and buildings.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So we bought
Congratulations.
the business, and then
You start paying the
Two or-
bank again.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about
Start paying
the
the
bank
bank.
again.
2 or 3 years later, we bought the land. And
Oh, that's
buildings.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're not silly, and I think that's what made it easier as well. You know, like we didn't have a lease to pay. We didn't have to answer to anyone, obviously, apart from the bank. We had a fair few years of being able to make money in the summer, save it for the winter. You know, we knew about hard times, and so going into it, it was different, but we were set up from the summer. If we didn't have a summer, if we didn't have those bands come through, it would have been a different story.
That's wise.
But
of you,
we've
though.
still managed to have summer and the bands each year,
Yeah.
regardless of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
There's still been that summer band circuit. So it's been great.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the more famous, like, pubs in the North Island, I imagine, isn't it? Like, you got, like, the Hilly, you know, in Hamilton, and you got, like, King's Arms or something, and then, like, Coroglen, like, they're sort of, like, for bands playing and things like that. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I can't think of any that really jump off the top of my head apart from those sort of three. Like, I knew of the Coroglen Tavern before I'd ever been to the Coromandel, like, as an adult, you know. So it's
Yeah,
pretty...
it is pretty well known.
So for the people who have no idea where and what the Coroglen Tavern is, can you just explain to us like the bar and the venue outdoors and just like numbers and how many people would you take for a big show, just so people can visualize, have an idea of what the tavern is?
Michelle will be great at answering this question.
So it depends on who's playing. So the front of the pub is just everyday walk-ins, you know, like we've got enough space there that we never not have a table basically. But on the band nights, so if we had, say, Catch Fire playing, we would push the numbers out to 2,000 people. Real mellow crowd, good drinkers, no problems. Everyone's just there, chilled. It's a really good vibe. Then you get a different kind of band. What's a good example? Say Wilkinson. We had Wilkinson come over from the UK.
Doof doof.
It's a doof doof.
Doof doof.
People are dancing differently. They're not
Dancing different from normal dancing.
you know, like you got the catch a fire crowd and it's really chill, and then you've got like the boop, 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 and they're bouncing all around the place. And
They have like a whistle in their mouth and like blow steps and shit.
I know, those get
that
like
song
taken
gone.
off them. Gone. So yeah, then we'd reduce the numbers. We'd do say 1,800.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so it just depends on who's playing and the crowd that's coming with it.
Do you guys choose who is coming, or you have a team, or is like it's a event management thing that you guys are in touch with and they send? Because what I feel very upset about the Coromandel is that usually it's not on the course of most of New Zealand tours. It's a shame because it's such a beautiful sport, you know, like, and I feel like a lot of, it's a money thing, right? It's not that sustainable for them, like to take the turn from Hamilton or Auckland, come to Coromandel and then go back to whatever is happening. So I understand that. But you guys are consistent with what you do, you know? When it's summer, it's like, we're gonna have great gigs.
Yeah.
So how does it work? Who chooses the bands?
Promoters basically come to us and say, we've got this, what do you reckon? Or they say, we want to do this, and we're like, hang on, we're just going to check this out and see what kind of music it is, because most of it we haven't heard of.
Right.
We're so freaking old.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
That's how I felt last night,
my
Michelle.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
We hadn't heard of a lot of those, you know,
No.
so I had to say to the promoter, hang on, we're just going to check this out and just discuss it with a few younger ones that we
Yeah.
know.
Yes. Good.
So
And
we've
see
got a
what they
group
reckon.
chat. We've got a
Yeah.
group chat, which is, we call it the Tab Fam, and it's got, you know, past staff members. They're still really good friends of ours, all different age groups. Ginny and Hope, hi, hey, Cheryl. Lily, hey, Julie. And so we'll send links from Spotify or something to them and say, what do you reckon? Who are these guys? What sort of vibe is it? You know, like we
Yeah, we have a listen ourselves.
Yeah, we do,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was nice, chill. We were like, yeah, okay. We sort of really say no to doof these days.
Right.
You know,
It's hard work.
Just, yeah.
It's hard work.
It is hard work.
What,
Yeah.
like the crowd?
the
Well,
crowd.
we need to
The
change our
crowd.
T's and C's, like, and the way that we work with the promoters,
Yeah.
and
Right.
sort of like charge them venue hire and that sort of thing. Where we don't with a lot of the other ones when we know that we're going to go good over the bar.
Yeah.
But if you don't go good over the bar,
No,
Right.
it's not. It's not a
Right,
drinking
right.
crowd.
yeah.
Right. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Was there any gig, like both circumstances, like you guys thought it would be awesome, it was a flop, or you guys were like, oh, this is gonna be okay, and it was just like, whoa, massive. Do you remember some examples?
I do. I do. So we're coming back to Wilkinson. So we knew of him as like this massive international DJ. I've never listened to him before, not my particular kind of music, but really freaking popular. And the promoters were like, he's going to go off. It's going to be amazing. And
He was
what a-
headlining R&B that year.
Yeah, he was. Like
So
it was
a-
he was massive.
What was it, Road to Rhythm, I think they called it.
Yeah.
Like
And
that.
how many people did we get? It definitely wasn't sellout. It
We
was,
got 900.
Yeah, but it was a hard work crowd, you know, like it was just, we were working all night. We were constantly babysitting. You know, we'd move these people to what we call the kindergarten, which is the closed pub, and looking after these kids, you know. And then the one that we didn't think would go off because we'd never heard of them before was Sticky Fingers. When they first came, we were like, who are these people? And we Googled them and we saw photos and we're like, oh God, they look rough, you know, like this is going to be dirty and rocky or grungy, you know. And then we listened to their music and we're like, what the heck? This is really cool. This is really mellow. And when they went on sale, I think they sold out within like a couple of hours, and we're like, whoa, we had no idea who they were. And then on the night, that was a hard work night too, not because they were a terrible crowd. There was just a shitload of them. So we sold out. People still wanted to get in the doors. They were literally, like, I shit you not, climbing over the TAV roof to get into the pub. They were up in our neighbour's place, up in the hills. Like, Ginny was running around with a freaking torch. We ended up with a kid in our garage, trying to sneak in. Like, it was out the gate. We had our neighbour Dave. He had these young underagers with their parents asking for permission to stand in their paddock just to listen to the music. I've never experienced it before in my life. We were like, who
Should
are
have
these
charged
guys?
them. Yeah, go for it.
Man, it was amazing.
Half price
But
tickets.
that was out the gate. That was just like a holy shit.
I remember so many people on like Chit Chats and all those communities looking for tickets, like gold, like paying a lot of money, keen to go and watch Sticky Fingers. So right. And what about the rock and roll crowd? Because you guys usually have like a rock and roll night.
Yeah.
And
They're awesome.
Yeah,
They're real chill. Yeah, it's not
good crowd.
They're a real good crowd, good drinking crowd, responsible, a little bit older, you know, or just there to have a good time. There's no dramas. It's easy. That's an easy night.
Just the odd spew here and there. Right.
Preferably out the gate.
we had Paul Martin here from Devil's Skin.
Oh yes, awesome.
Great guy, and he was talking about like the Coroglen Tavern and how cool the vibe is. You know, every time they come, like how supportive and how cool you guys are.
Yeah,
so, like,
well, we have Neil come up quite often. Like if he comes up on holiday with the family, he'll pop in and say hi. Eh?
Yeah, they're good dudes.
They're cool.
Devil's
They're
Skin
really
guys.
nice.
Yeah.
What about the international names? Well, you mentioned Wilkinson, but is it a thing that you guys try to go to, or like you're happy with supporting more like New Zealand and Australian bands? You know that they're gonna be good for. Or how does it work? Do you get promoters, international promoters, trying to bring acts?
Only Live Nation. We started working with them, and the first time we did was Donovan Frankenreiter.
Oh,
so he was doing like Australia, New Zealand, and that was awesome. Like that was really cool, and that was a out of season concert, 1st of December or something.
Somewhere around there.
And we were like, nah, it won't work. Nah, it's just a lot of work for something that's not going to pull a crowd. But we ended up with like 1,000 people there, eh?
Yeah.
And it was mean, and they were rad. They were
It
really
surprised us.
Cool. Yeah, it did.
Great surprise, eh?
Yeah, good. And nice chill crowd.
Yeah, very chill.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people go to the gigs? Because I was talking to my friends last night, like sometimes it feels like it's a very like last minute thing in the Coromando, you know, like people know about the show for 2 months.
Yeah.
And
Locals buy tickets late.
Yeah, and then like in the last minutes everybody's looking
On the
for
day.
a ticket on the day.
Yeah.
Like, so is it like the thing with finding the right names feels like a mission, because you know that you're gonna get people coming, but it's that lottery thing, of like trying to get a big name and not knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you have no
promoters
idea.
do the risk though. Like the promoters pay the bands, so they take the risk on that one. So they're the experts really. We just judge it by like, what's this crowd going to be like, and do we want the crowd? You know.
Yes.
Who's the next big people you got coming or person?
We can't tell you.
Oh, is it a literal secret?
It really is.
Oh, come on.
No, it's good. It's actually really freaking good. This coming summer is going to be,
Yeah. Gold.
if you know, COVID pending, but yeah, there's some good names coming through the books, and we've got some dates penciled, and it's going to be mean.
It's the time for it, right? Now that the borders are open.
International bands?
Yep.
Yeah. Aussie international.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, yeah.
That's international. Come on.
Hey, they're really good, and there's one that hasn't been to the tab yet that I'm really looking forward to. They're going to be like,
So who is it?
blah, blah, blah.
Oh, those guys.
Good try,
yeah.
man. Good try. Good try.
Can you give us
Not
any?
enough
What about the
drinks yet.
genre? What about the genre of music? Can you tell us that? I just want to know if I want to make my first appearance, my debut appearance.
Well,
I'll
what
MC
kind
it for
of-
you.
They'll be a good crowd. We'll tell you that.
It'll be an awesome crowd.
Oh yeah, good drinkers, eh?
Good drinkers. That's what we want.
AC/DC.
Hey.
What? Am I not allowed to guess?
I cannot
you
confirm
can, yes.
or deny.
What about
That'd be
that other
good.
one with the guy that died? In excess.
He's probably not coming.
No, they replaced him. I watched a whole TV show about it.
Right. You cannot tell us the ones that you are bringing, but
Parkway Drive.
You can tell us. That would be great.
That'd be so good. You should bring Parkway Drive.
Who? Parkway Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit more alternative.
Yeah. They're like hardcore.
But great.
Hardcore punk.
I don't know if the
Metalcore.
Coroglen would go down that road, but
You'd get
we
at least
would
50
be there,
people
right?
there. Yeah.
We would be there. Who are the dream bands for you guys? Now, like, just like you can go anywhere. Who would you love to bring to your venue? Any band.
Oh man.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, you go. Come on.
Honestly, I'd go see Shania Twain.
If she's here, the Coroglen, I would, but it's not the dream
Should
band,
go
is
off. My mum would
Yeah.
be
it?
there,
It would
man.
go off.
Holy crap.
Every man over the age of 60 would be there.
I'm glad to know it's your dream band to see Shania Twain, but like, you know,
Hey, she was just at Coachella. She
Yeah,
still
that's
got
why
it,
I
right?
brought her. Yeah, so I brought her up
Fair
with what's
enough.
his name? What's his name? Harry Styles. That's the one.
Yes.
That's who she was singing
Yeah.
with, I think.
right.
Sorry, Carrie.
Not Shania Twain, Jed.
No.
No.
I can't answer that question on the spot.
Okay, we'll give you time. We'll give you time. We're chatting. So it will come to you. It will come to you.
I've
Michelle?
always wanted the Foos, but obviously that's a little bit tender.
Oh,
Yeah.
too
It's a bit
soon.
sad.
Oh.
Too soon.
Well, it's like it broke my heart. It
Wow.
was like
It
because
would
I'm a
have been
huge
amazing,
fan,
yeah.
and that would be that would have been a dream. But
Did you see them when they came last?
yeah, we've seen them every time though.
Every time?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I know you from.
You see me up on stage. I'm that
Seen you,
groupie
yeah.
girl.
Super solid band live, eh? Such
Yeah.
a great
It's
band.
good.
I'm not a Foo Fighters fan, but I went with my wife and just to go with her, you know, and I was very, very impressed because I went and Weezer were playing before them, and I was like real
We were
keen to see
there.
Weezer,
Yeah.
Same one.
and I was sort of like about Weezer, but then Foo Fighters came on. It was actually the reverse of what I thought it was going to be, you know. But yeah, no, it was pretty impressive, eh?
Very high
was that
energy.
when,
Oh,
when
yeah.
Lizzie was there too?
When who?
Liz.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so a friend of ours from Whitianga, she was in the opening band.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah.
Freak, did you get up on stage before the Foo Fighters?
Was it
like,
the
it
lead
was
singer,
amazing.
the blonde girl? Was that the one?
Nah,
Because
she was
No.
playing bass.
Yeah, she's
Um,
bass.
right.
Yeah.
Liz Gisborne.
Gibson.
Gibson. Yeah.
Similar, yeah.
Lizzie. Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, but that's like, well, the Foo Fighters were probably taking, what was that, Mount Smart? Was that,
Yeah, it was Mount Smart.
The
yeah.
venue?
Yeah.
how many people could they probably take there? 30,000 maybe?
30 to 40, I'd say. Yeah.
30 to 40.
yeah. Well, big day out's usually like 45 to 50,000, but that includes like a
It's
couple of
stage at the back.
other bits. Yeah.
And what were the gigs that were memorable for you guys? Like, not just from the Coroglen Tavern, but like in your life, you know, like great bands that you saw and you were like, oh yeah.
Saw Pearl Jam at Mount Smart. It was my first one. It was awesome. Yeah. We've been AC/DC, Foo Fighters. Yeah. We've done a few.
Yeah, AC/DC wouldn't have been like, I don't mind their music, but I wouldn't have gone to a concert myself. But he was like, you got to go see it. And holy shit, what a show, man. It was
So-
amazing. It was so good.
All Grain sounds pretty awesome too when you mentioned
Oh,
in
no,
the
that-
England. I was
yeah.
like, that sounds
Yeah,
great.
that was really cool. I fell into that just accidentally. Our flatmate Tammy was going, and her friend pulled out, and she was like, "Oh, you want to come?" And I was like, "What the hell? Yeah!" And it was really cool.
I've never heard of that person. Who is it?
Let's stay together, loving you weather.
Oh,
No,
really?
really?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah.
How many songs has he got though? Like 2?
Like that one was a hit, but it's pretty
Right,
good,
okay.
man. Pretty good, pretty
Sure he's got
solid.
hits.
Yeah. What will you guys be doing right now if not running this amazing gigs and stuff? Would you go back to your graphics, to your designs, or like, do you like to do other things? Because
Yeah.
now you're tapping into events and it's such a big thing, you know, like there's so many possibilities there. So I wonder if you see someone's job when you're talking to an event manager and you're like, oh, that's actually a cool job, you know?
Yeah.
Because running a bar is a big responsibility, right? Like you're dealing with lives. And when you were the manager of an event or something, it's a little bit different, right? You're still involved, but like
Yeah.
the responsibilities
Yeah.
are different. Would you guys step into a different area of the entertainment scene?
I think it'd be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. If
definitely.
we had the chance, we probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just a matter of either finding that chance or making it. Yeah. So don't know how it would happen right now. As such.
There's ideas
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
ideas.
that
Yeah.
we're throwing around.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the kids take time, right? As
Well,
well.
that's
Like,
it. You know,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
really
yeah.
settled at school. They've got some really cool mates, and you know, like what, 5 years they might be gone.
Yeah.
You know, from school. You know, like that school responsibility.
Gone and
Yeah,
June
gone.
away. Just
Pack bags.
See you
off,
later.
Bye. Yeah, Mama's living again. No, they're actually, our kids are really freaking cool. They're really cool kids, and into lots of different things. So they keep us busy, and then they're awesome.
so they're at Mercury Bay then.
They are.
Yeah.
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 When we were talking, when I started the show and I was telling about like how we run this place and people don't have an idea of how, you know, demanding it is, you know. So I imagine that when you are doing what you guys are doing, people don't understand how many things are happening there. So what parts of the process people just completely forget about or ignore, and for you guys it's such a big thing, like to be on top of it every time?
Toilets.
Toilets. My friend dropped the
Yes.
toilet, the cell phone at the Portaloo last night. And I was,
Oh.
yeah, it
Is
was
she
very
from-
sad.
Savannah?
Was it
Oh, there you
Savannah?
go. Now the world knows.
We
Thanks,
found
Jed.
it.
Hey,
Did you find it?
Savannah, we found it.
We found your phone. There you go.
We did.
I don't
Yeah.
name it, but that was Jed.
Yeah.
So there you go. You found it?
In a bag. What? There you go.
In the like blue liquid. Is it in a Portaloo?
Well,
Yeah.
you mentioned the toilets, but anyway, I was just asking about like the challenges of running such big events and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, having
actually-
people losing the cell phone.
But there can't be a lot of poo in those toilets though, right?
You never know, bro.
Because like who goes
Would you
to
go digging for a cell phone?
it depends on what sort of cell phone it was. Like, because I can't imagine there's a lot of people who are like, all right, I'm going to go to a show and then have a poo there. Like, you'd be
do
like,
you choose
I
when you
might
want to have
have
a
a-
pool? Are you
That's
that
right.
good?
How
Can
do
you
you know?
some
control
people
it?
are. Some people go first thing in the morning every morning.
But that's what I mean. Can you control it? Like, of not
oh, I
going?
can't. I've got like a 5-minute warning, otherwise it's going wherever it's going.
There you go. So it's good to have a Portaloo available, right?
Yeah.
Might come handy.
Yeah. Need a little fish, one of those little fish nets to get this phone out. Is that where you get the phone out with?
No.
Use your hand. Oh, I hope you washed it.
I had nothing to do with that process. I was just like, no.
You told the person responsible for it, right?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
happened.
So they found it.
Okay, so toilet's a big one, big responsibility when you're putting a gig like that. But what else? I guess the alcohol thing, right? I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
You've got to have enough.
You do.
for one,
don't want
we,
to run out.
You
we
do.
have literally ran out before.
Oh,
like
that's-
it.
That is
Really?
disgusting.
So embarrassed to admit this.
No one knew that we ran out.
No one knew.
Ah,
No.
good.
So we ran out. Was it Salmonella Dub? It was that gig maybe a year,
Yeah, it
2
was,
years
yeah.
ago, and we thought we'd bought enough. You know, we'd been there long enough. We knew it meant to know what we were doing, and we started running really low.
Yeah,
and
because
Real low on bourbon, I'm guessing.
locals bought all their tickets last minute or
There
decided
you
to come
go.
on the day.
Yes. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, 500 sold in one day. And I'm like, holy shit, we're going to have enough piss?
Yeah,
Hmm.
no,
You know?
no. So
And
we
Salmonella Dove's a big locals crowd. Yeah.
yeah, so we were running down to our front bar, literally grabbing anything we could, chucking it up to the crew in the band bar. They were like, "How much?" We're like, "Pick a number."
Just
You
sell
know,
it.
so
Yeah,
they were just
just sell
like
it.
$10 here, $8 over here. You know, who wants this? It was just like, what the hell? It was pretty cool. It was,
Yeah.
you know, like it wasn't stressful. It was just like, is this really happening?
This
This is amazing.
Wow.
So yeah, we just had to chuck out whatever we could find.
But we haven't run out since.
No, we have not. No.
So making sure you have alcohol, it's a
Yeah.
big responsibility, but also making sure that people are not abusing.
Yeah.
Alcohol is another
So we've got
responsibility.
systems in place for that, you know, so we limit people when they first get there, they can buy a maximum of 6 cans.
Right.
And that's it.
At a time. Or
At a time, and
Yeah.
then we judge the crowd, we see how they're progressing and what's going on, and if we think that they're getting a little bit sloppy, then we'll cut it down, we'll go down to 4.
so you judge like the
two.
whole crowd.
Yes.
All the
like,
time.
You're like,
All the time.
how's the crowd going as a whole?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
interesting. I never
yeah,
thought about it like
yeah.
that.
And then ones that, because we're in the middle of nowhere, okay, so there's no taxis. Buses are there to take you at the end of the night. They're not going to run,
I've heard some funny stories
you know,
about that.
yeah, into town. Oh my
I'm ready to
God,
go home
what?
now while you're waiting till the end of the night. Oh, shit. It's only
Yeah.
4 hours away.
Exactly. Yeah. So you've got to wait, and so if you're within talks, you know, like we have vivids. We'll mark your hand. The crew at the bar knows if there's any vivids anywhere.
Right.
Sometimes on the freaking forehead, that they are not allowed to drink alcohol. So they're completely cut off. Our security team know that. So if they see somebody with an ex or something and they're drinking, can get taken off them. If they get caught again, they get taken out. They'll come around to the kindergarten.
Is that legal?
Is what?
To take the drink off someone?
No.
It's not legal. No, I'm saying,
No,
is it legal? Like, can
yeah,
you
yes,
go up to
it is
someone and
legal.
be like, you're not allowed that, I'm taking it off you.
If-
And they'll be like, I paid for that beer.
If they're
My
intoxicated,
mate bought it
absolutely.
from...
Yeah, but you don't know how much they drank in the
We've already
meantime.
told you you're not allowed to.
I'm not putting you on the spot or nothing. Well, I kind of am, I suppose.
No,
but
it's we can do that, but it's
Yeah.
like if they've had enough, they've had enough. They're not going to drink anymore. Not in our place. So they can stay and they can enjoy the event. Like
good and
the
responsible of you
I
guys.
don't think
Yeah.
anyone would prosecute us for taking a drink off someone if they are too wasted.
When I was drinking, I might have.
If you remember.
Two big security guards either side of you.
Yeah, come to the
I'll be like, that's
buddy.
fine.
And you'll be out the gate.
Yeah. So yeah, we just judge it. We just follow the crowd. You know, like I mentioned before, Catch Fire, a really cool crowd. There's hardly any times that we have to sort of knock down the drink
Yeah.
numbers, you know, because they're a good drinking
It's all
crowd.
blazed, eh?
Well, and hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're eating,
Food sales went through the
drinking
roof.
well, eating well. So yeah, we just judge it.
But that's another.
It's responsible of you. So
Yeah. And there was another topic that I wanted to talk about, because when you're at a gig, like especially at the Coroglen, I've seen security taking people
Yep.
out because they were smoking weeds, or you could tell that they were onto something else. So like we know that the security are paying attention, but sometimes they do the check before you get in, and they just cannot tell what you have. Like,
No, exactly.
is it common to have people under the influence of something that you don't even know, and then you guys have to take action, and then
Very common.
Yeah.
Very common. It's actually got worse this past sort of 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
you
it
know, I'm sure it's happened before that, but I feel like it was a different kind of substance where they were still in control of their bodies.
Right.
Whereas this last couple of years, it's actually, we've had some really scary incidences where it's like, what the hell have you taken? Like, this is definitely not alcohol.
Right.
They are just literally cannot control their body. Like, we bring them into the tavern, it's all shut down, and we have to look after these people that are just out of it, and they are like contorting into things. It's really freaking scary.
It's easy for them to sneak one little bag in,
Yeah.
which is
yeah.
going to have the same effect as 20 beers, which they can't sneak in or they can't buy,
Yeah. But these guys, like, their eyeballs are rolling in the back of their head. Their
Yeah.
tongues are hanging out. Like, they are weeing themselves, like...
Sorry,
it
it's
is-
not funny.
Yeah, but
It's filthy. It is so
filthy,
filthy.
yeah.
And I bet if they saw themselves, like, in this state and what they were doing, they'd be so embarrassed. Like...
It is like that, eh?
And
Yeah.
it's scary. It's... Yeah,
When you see a video of yourself when you're like out the gate, it is sort of like almost like yuck to watch. You know, you're like, oh, some of it's funny, but it's like, oh, come on, man, like get a handle on yourself,
Fully.
I wonder if you could do something. I don't know why I'm coming up with ideas now, but I wonder if
Is
you.
it legal?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I wonder if you could have some sort of like amnesty card that you could like give to people to like write on it what they've taken, and they put it in their pocket, and then if they get out the gate, you could be like, oh, have you got one of these cards, and you could pull it out and be like, all right, MDMA, fucking
Yeah.
heroin, whatever,
But does it help us?
well, it might help
when
you
they're
in,
in that
in
state?
diagnosing. Just
Well, yeah, we know what they've taken.
Well,
but
normally
then,
dunk
they've
their
got
head in
friends.
the toilet.
Yeah. Normally their friends, like,
yeah,
we'll find them. Their friends are with them. It's like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
person cannot be out here. They'll come into the front of the tab and we'll be like, look, what the hell have they taken? Like, come on, you've got to tell us. We need to know how to look after this person. And they're honest, like that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very clear that they're
Yeah.
on something, you don't lie to us. And they don't. They're really honest.
But that's the thing that we were talking before the show about the drug testing, you know,
Yeah.
because New Zealand, for the people who don't know, like apparently in some festivals in Auckland, there's this little tent thing, and you go and you test.
Yeah.
your drugs, you know, like, and you don't go to jail, you know, like they just get whatever you have and they tell you, oh, this is what you get, you know, this is what you got. It's actually not you think that it is. And they don't also tell you, don't do it, you know, it's just to know. So in my mind, I don't know, I have this thing, it is interesting to talk to you guys because you face this problem often, you know, and for me, it's kind of like, it's such a flop of a system that we all know friends or people who do stuff and we know the substances, you know where to get it, you know what's happening, but like it's easy to pretend that it's not happening. And then you put a lot of young people together and it's very easy to sneak things in, you know, like, and then you take it. And then the responsibility is on you.
Yeah.
It's
on you.
Yeah.
And then
not theirs.
No.
Self-responsibility is gone.
And then people will say, like, even with this drug test, because I think it's fantastic. I think it's the best idea ever. Drug testing, you know, like go there, they will just tell you what it is, you know, like.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will say, oh, but it feels like you're giving an incentive for them to do drugs because, and you're like, wow, like you're not understanding a law that is already flawed.
Yeah.
And someone coming up with maybe not a solution, but like it will help.
Yeah.
Right? Will help you guys.
I
because
think it would help, yeah.
It would help a lot, right? Because at least it kind of supports you guys in a way. You know, like if someone says, and then the person will say, well, they came here, they tested the drugs, and that was not what they were expecting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so how can you put the blame on...
It means that you're able to control your intake too, I imagine. Like, because you know what you're getting, you're going, like, how many times you watched a movie, and they're like popping pills because nothing's happening.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, they're straight out the gate. You know, at least you'd be like, oh, okay, this, whatever I've got is only... You know, it's been cut with something else, or you know, I'm guessing most of it's just methamphetamine to begin with. I'm just guessing. You know, it's whatever you're taking, but like you could at least know, you know, that you might
and you can then control your dose.
Yeah. As opposed to, because I mean, like if I bought some, I'd just be like, what do you take? Like a pill, half a pill, 4?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, and at least they would
They
be
don't
like,
come with instructions.
they'd be like, bro, you should be taking one of these, man. Like, I'd be like, oh, cool, thanks.
I'm sure that's what happens with most of the people that we end up bringing out the front, you know, and looking after, is that they have no idea what they're taking. They're taking way too much. They're also like in the atmosphere. They've probably preloaded or started drinking as well, mixing the two, and just rushing, you know, like with the excitement, just getting into it, and then boom, they are gone. Like there's nothing there.
And another tricky one is the thing with like, it doesn't matter if you limit the amount of alcohol that someone can buy. I can go buy my 6 and give to my mate who took something that I don't even know what it was that he took, you know?
Yeah.
And we all know that alcohol can cause...
So what you were doing last night?
Absolutely.
Oh man,
Selling it, eh?
I've been clean for so long, you wouldn't believe, like for so long. But like I see that happening, you know, like, oh, I cannot buy, but then your mate goes and buy, and then you're like, damn, you don't even know what he took before, you know?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like you guys should have more support.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to that, because it looks bad, you know, like the security grabbing the guy, and you're like, well, he's actually helping. You know, like it doesn't look like.
Yeah,
But
and a lot of
it's
people
not-
think that, you know, these people are getting kicked out. They get taken around, you know, out the gates, and they're getting kicked out. Well, they're not. They're actually getting taken around to the front of the pub, where we then look after them, like, or they are brought through our kitchen, and we're looking after them. They don't get tossed out onto the street or anything like that. You know, like we've got people walking around all the time. We just got to keep them safe. And
free
it's
food and
hard.
water, I heard.
Yes, we do. Yes, this is not a ploy to get free food and water. All right? No. But yeah, no.
You'll miss the concert you paid $80 for, but you get a free bottle of chips.
I love chips.
Yeah. So yeah, we look after them. Well, we try to. You know, like we're doing our best.
Someone's got to do it. So, and on a big event, so like on a busy summer show, how many people do you guys work with usually?
Oh Jesus!
Like what? Crowd numbers?
No, sorry, staff.
Like staff.
Staff? 20 plus, I guess.
Yeah,
between,
and then
including
security.
security, it can be
Yeah.
between 20 and 30 somewhere, I would say.
depending on the
Yeah.
crowd as well. You know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
if it's a harder crowd, like say a sticky fingers crowd where we know it's going to be now
Now you know.
yeah, now we know it's going to be packed out. We get an extra security. To be fair though, that crowd is getting older. And they're getting better, you know, like when they were younger, when they were, you know, when was it, 5 years ago we first had them roughly?
Yeah.
And
a
so,
20-year-old crowd.
you know, so now those 20-year-olds are 25 and
25, yeah.
they've
They
learned
can
a few
handle
lessons.
they can handle their drinks a bit better and
they've
things
probably
like
had
that.
a few
eh?
experiences and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that again, you know?
Right.
Come for the music, not the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And what is the latest you guys can have a gig going?
9:30.
9:30. 9:30.
At night.
That's my dream.
Hey, but day festivals are amazing. Eh? Like if you
Yeah,
can score,
true.
I love those festivals. You
Yeah.
get the best out of people.
Yeah,
you know,
we've
like
never
if you-
actually done that before. So obviously yesterday was a 4 o'clock to 11:30. That's a long time, you know.
Yeah.
Like that. It was by the end of the night. It was starting to get hard. It was still okay, but it's a long time for somebody to be there drinking and you know being at a party. But yeah, ideally we normally do. Doors open at around 6. Depending on how many openers they have, it'll be 10 to 11:30 finish. They also have to catch buses. You know, it's not like they live in town. It's at least 20, 30 minutes to get to the next closest area. And then sometimes there's a crowd that has to wait for a bus too. You know, we could have people there still at 1:30 in the morning. Gigs finished at 11 and they're waiting for that bus to come back from Aotearoa or somewhere. to
And the
come
bar's
pick-
closed.
The bar is closed.
Oh.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything worse than being stuck waiting for a bus at 1 in the morning
Yeah.
and
Don't
the
worry.
bar's closed.
We have a lot of people that think that way.
Yeah, I bet.
I'll pay you anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
Give me a beer.
Just
Yeah.
give me a beer.
I bet. Oh, there's nothing worse than sobering up on the night, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't offer you one.
No,
Okay.
we've talked about that.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. I can't waste that.
All right. By the way, that's one of the beers from Blue Fridge Brewery, and Adam is coming to the show on Wednesday, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
So he's
awesome.
gonna,
These are actually really nice beers.
It is a really good one.
Yeah.
He was there last night having a boogie.
Oh, he was.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
I've never met Adam.
no. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll make the connection. I was wondering about that. Do you guys have to stick to brands to sell alcohol, or you can? How does that work?
We are contracted to Lion Breweries.
Lion Breweries.
Yeah. So we have to sell their brands as
Yeah.
such.
They have Waikato on tap, though. Already asked that.
Right. Right.
We used to sell Waikato at concerts too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not anymore.
What makes it better for you guys to have that kind of deal? Because for me, like I don't even know.
They give you
what-
better deals on the stock you're buying.
Right.
And they've got a pretty good brand portfolio. So they give you better deals, you get it at a better price than if you weren't contracted, and if you're not contracted to anyone, then you pay more.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So if we were contracted to DB Breweries, they would give us better deals. But Lion, in my opinion, have the widest range.
Yeah, and the majority of our locals drink a Lion product, you
Yeah.
know, so if we put...
It's either Lion Red or Waikato, I'm guessing, eh?
Spates is massive.
Spates, no, mate, so-
Yeah, Spates Ultra, that's just gone bonza.
Yeah.
Panhead, you know, that's...
Oh, yeah.
Lion
that's a
Red,
solid-
Lion
it's a
Red,
solid
Spates, and
brand.
Waikato are slow sellers now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vowed, like, I really did. I was like, craft beer is shit 9 years ago. I was like,
Oh.
there's no way we're putting on a craft beer.
Don't
It's
say
not-
that.
No, I did very vocally.
That Panhead Supercharger is quite nice.
Yeah,
from
well,
memory.
that was the
Yeah.
first one we put on. I was like, okay, we'll just try it. Like Jed was, and our rep at the time was like, just give it a go, you know. And I'm like, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. And so we put it on, and it's not come off. It's just
Yeah.
a
The
super
supercharger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a seller.
So they got that
It's
other
really
one, the
good.
lower, is it XPA or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we mix it up a little bit. We've got like a guest tap where we'll chuck on a
Cool.
hazy, or we'll chuck on a IPA or whatever, you know, like we mix it up. But that the supercharger has just not not come off.
It's pretty nice.
And I freaking love craft beer now.
Oh, why wouldn't you? Eh?
I'm like, oh my god!
Because when
I
you go
never
back
thought
to
I
trying
would.
when you get like a glass of Lion
Yeah.
Red, right?
Yeah.
And then you compare it to like anything else that's craft beer, you're just like, oh no, I shouldn't say Lion Red, should I? What's another? What's
Well,
a DB?
they're not paying us,
What's a
man.
DB?
You can say
Pay
whatever
them,
you want
bro.
to say. It's all good. You can-
But you know what I mean? Like, it's night and day, eh? Like,
Oh yeah.
one
for
of them
sure.
actually
Absolutely.
tastes nice.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
amazing.
I was a
even.
Spates drinker back then. I used
Oh,
to drink
yeah.
Spates, and I was just like, craft beer is shit. Like, this is just no. But now it's delicious.
Michelle, I just saw that plant is it annoying you? Just move your
Oh,
chair a little
no,
bit. No,
no.
it's nature. Yeah,
Friends.
friends, making friends. Yeah, making friends.
Well, she can make friends now that she's moved over from Spates. Right?
Yes.
So what's the thing, Brett? So when you used to drink, what was a no go for you? Spades or
Oh, no, Spates is all right. That's pretty close to Waikato,
yeah,
to be fair. Lion Red was just like,
not your thing.
no one's thing when in my circle.
Yes,
one liked
I
it.
know a lot of people who go for Lion Reds. They buy the boxes.
They probably all moved down from Auckland.
Yeah.
Right.
Auckland drinks Lion Red.
Yeah.
Right.
Long weekends we go through Lion Red.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I remember you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys do the Dry July thing?
She did.
I did.
Yeah, I
And the
remember
rest of the
seeing
crew.
that.
Yeah, the rest of us. Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
he was the only one. We had to have
Jed.
someone at the pub.
The dedicated
He was.
drinker for
He
the
was.
month.
He had to drink with people. We are still a pub, you know. But the rest of us, we went dry for a month. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We got
Hey.
a lot of press from
I see that you raised
and-
over $5,000 or something,
Yeah,
right?
we
I had a look
did.
on your
Yeah.
Instagram or
Yeah.
website
Yeah.
or something like that. I had
Yeah.
a look today.
Oh,
Yeah, it
because
was amazing.
do people?
Yeah, they.
It's a
you know,
charity.
it's
Is
It's
it
a
like a
fundraiser.
sponsor. Yeah. Just one of those, you know, chuck us $10. We also had like a little kiddie thing on the bar, and if you wanted to chuck your change in there, you could. And yeah, we did awesome. It was really cool.
Was it hard?
Yeah.
You work at a bar,
Well,
right?
what do they say? Like, acceptance is the first step, you know? See,
Yeah, but none of us cheated. Like
at least
I go
your liver
hand on
got like
heart.
a,
Yeah,
for like a
it was
you know, a month
incredible.
before it went back under again.
I will give you that. I felt good. I slept awesome. My skin was like everything that they actually say.
Stop
to you.
snoring.
That when
More
you get
energy.
up drinking, this is going to
Just listen
happen.
to me
Like,
snoring.
yeah. But yeah, like I was getting up earlier. It was just not that I'm a raging alcoholic or anything like that either.
yeah,
It sounds like you are at the moment. So
Well,
good
you
backpedaling.
should have seen us in lockdown.
Oh, tell me about it. Eh? Good time.
But yeah, no, it was awesome, and we raised some good money, and it was cool. Yeah.
Cool. How many staff got into it?
There was
2.
there was
6 or
6
7.
of us, yeah. But we
Wow.
also
Yeah.
got like Hope, Ginny, me, Connor, Brian, yeah, and then we had Ricky, who he doesn't work for us, but he's a local, and he did it with us too. So it was really cool.
That's
yeah.
really good.
Cool. It is a good initiative, isn't it?
Yeah,
like it's
absolutely.
something that. Right. Was it the first time?
First
you did it?
first time we have done it. Yeah, yeah.
That month is the hardest. That first month is pretty hard too, eh? To go from like drinking to not drinking just like that. It's
Yeah,
like,
especially in that social situation where we're working.
oh,
you know,
I couldn't have
Yeah.
gone dry working in a pub.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Having the rest of the crew do it too obviously made it easier. You know, like none of us were drinking. Normally, you have an afternoon or something like that, and you have a few beers, and everyone's socialising together. You do pack down, and you have a drink, a gin or something, you know. But it was just no. We all went pretty clean, very clean. We were just it was amazing.
Got a good selection of gin.
Love the gin, but no, we don't.
Yeah, not at the pub,
Not at
but
the pub.
Yeah.
nah.
we've got a few at home.
Yeah, we've got a good selection at home. We've got, your normals at the bar.
Yeah. Is that through Lion? Like we just supply Lions that would supply that or whoever?
Oh, for spirits as well. I was wondering that.
Yeah,
Oh,
spirits
cool,
as well.
cool,
So
cool,
in our wholesale, we can sell whatever we want. We've got a wholesale license, but yeah, in the actual bar.
Wholesale, sorry.
Wholesale, so you can take it away.
Oh,
yeah, so
right.
you can buy a box of beer, you can buy
Right.
a bottle of gin, you can buy
Right,
whatever you want
right,
and take it away.
But the ones in the bar.
Yeah,
it's the
on-
bar.
I didn't realise that you guys did that.
Yeah.
Do you just over the counter, or you got a different little area?
We've got a fridge.
Yeah, like a
double
walk-in
door.
or-
No, just a double door fridge. Just
Oh, yeah.
like a milk fridge type thing. But whatever we've got in the chiller,
You got milk in there as well?
we do.
Yeah, I've seen it. Is that the one you can see through the windows? You drive past.
Yeah, that one.
I don't know why I've noticed there's milk in there
Yeah.
before, but I was like,
There's bottles of wine on the top shelf and
Yeah.
strawberry milk on the bottom.
Yeah. You never know, man. Dry July will come. You might want to go to the pub and have a glass of
oh,
milk.
I haven't had milk since the last one either.
Last Friday.
Yeah, I moved over to almond milk.
There you go. We had
Just loaded up I'm
right.
sticking by my pledge.
There you go. We had Amy Taylor coming last Friday. She produced a film called Milked, that it's just going and explaining what happens in the dairy industry
Yeah.
in New Zealand.
yeah.
yeah,
I've heard of it.
big,
It's quite good.
big movie, man.
Mm.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
informative.
Yeah,
Like, because I've been knowing heaps of farmers, as everyone does, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, the farmers are great. But then it's like you watch that and it's like, oh, there's
she's got a great.
Definitely
Makes you
down-
switch to almond milk.
definitely downsides. But I mean, like, to be fair, I mean, I'm still going to eat cheese and stuff for now.
I'm not judging you.
But yeah, I was like, oh, they look pretty judgy.
No.
No, but it's, thought I'd just change it for a little bit, see how it goes.
The cool thing is that she brings a perspective from like how to support farmers for if you know, because we know that it's changing, the way that people are consuming is changing. So she's kind of like, well, we can support farmers before it's too late, because New Zealand really relies on dairy, and if things
Exactly.
start to change, you know, it's going to affect the country. So why don't we pay attention to this issue now? You know, so that was the cool thing about the conversation. You know, it was not like giving shit to anyone. It was kind of like, well, we might as well work together.
It was very pro farmers, like considering the topic. And my wife just texted me and said it's oat milk, not almond milk.
So
I don't drink that nut juice, you know.
not the nut juice, not yet. So, do you guys also live in the area where the tavern is, or is it close by? How does it work? Not in the bar, not behind
It's
the.
like 100 meters away,
Yeah.
Right.
like 20 meters behind the stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're there.
Well,
So you walk to work?
and home.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Sometimes,
Taylor
sometimes we
laughing.
need
I
a
was not-
taxi.
What was it, Taylor? Sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And what's the thing with the land there? Do you do all the things? Do you grow some veggies, or do you have some animals there? What's the thing you just got?
We've got 2 goats.
Hey, cool. That's cool.
They're my daughters. But yeah, we've got no other land to be able to do anything like that. Like we've got a little herb garden, and that's about it. The stage takes up most of the room. Then our house is there. We've got a little garden.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other
But there's
usable land
no,
there.
there's not. Yeah, biocycle goes down the other end, like the other side of the paddocks.
Yeah,
and-
the drainage fields, so
Yeah.
we don't use that for anything.
no.
Right. And when the bands come, do you guys have like a little green room or something in space? Nothing to do with the property, right? Or not? It's
no,
kind
it's there. So we put up marquees, and then we put in
cool.
couches and chairs and tables and beer fridge.
Yeah.
Beer
Everything.
fridge.
Just
Yeah.
a chill out space for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Any funny stories about bands or even the crowds? Like any memorable ones of you guys?
Last night, someone dropped
Last-
the phone in the toilet.
Well,
That was pretty funny.
that's a great story.
And we met a lovely lady called Kate. If you're listening, Kate. Yeah, but no, yeah, I guess there probably has been. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should have really thought about that, eh?
You should have texted them through
You
some
should've-
questions.
yeah.
to
Yeah,
think
well,
about
you know,
before.
there's some magic with throwing it, and
Yeah.
it might come to you guys, or
I
something.
can't even think back to summer, to be fair. Like, if you ask me who played,
Oh,
it just
nah.
goes...
Or even,
Yeah.
or even like,
It's-
or even with the bands, you know, with the artists, like someone super cool or not very nice, or you know, something, because you're dealing with artists, you know, like there's a lot of ego involved,
There
you
is a
know,
lot
like
of ego, yeah.
But sometimes I'm sure you get surprised as well by like how cool some of them.
The
Yeah,
majority of
some
them
of them
are
are
actually
awesome,
really
yeah.
rad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that John Toogood, super cool
Right.
guy, super chill,
Is he actually?
real lovely. Yeah, he is really nice. I really like him a lot. Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, I am a little bit.
Really? Oh, no, he's awesome.
Devil Skin crew, awesome.
Oh God, they're
All of them,
amazing.
you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do they bring their families sometimes?
Yep.
The
Yeah.
bands.
Sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
The first year that Devil Skin were there, they were just got yarning to nail. They had their
Yes.
Devil Skin bus there. It was all painted up with Devil Skin on the side
Wow,
and loudspeakers
cool.
and all that on it. And we were yarning to nail, and we were talking about Gemma from down at River Glen Camp, just saying how she loves Devil Skin, but she couldn't come tonight because she's got 600 people down at her camp that are coming to the concert that she needs to deal with, so she couldn't come. So Nail was like, well, let's take the van to her.
Yeah.
Wow.
So me and Shell jumped in the van with Nail, got down, and then he just started
Just the
pumping
crew.
Devil Skin as we cruised into the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemma
Gemma
was
came
like,
out.
what the fuck is going on?
That was rad. That was cool.
Yeah.
Was that the one that Blind Spot played the same night? It was Blind Spot and Devil Skin? No. Must have been after
Yeah, I
that.
think it might have been
Yeah.
actually. That was the
Was it?
first. Yeah.
I think that was the first one. I heard that was real good. I
Yeah.
heard that was real good, especially Blind Spot. Apparently, we're out the gate.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
Yeah. One spot is good. Yeah. Actually,
Do you get any hip hop acts at all?
There
Not-
was a
not
good
yourself?
one last year with
Yeah.
Avondale Bowling Club. What's his name? Scott, something Scott, Sam Scott. Big hip hop New Zealand artist. Yeah, he brought his group. It was the same night as the DJ, one of those top.
oh, we had David Dallas and all that. Is
Was
that
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 the
night
one?
that you're thinking?
Well,
Don't
we
remember.
were there.
Are you even there?
Yeah, like I remember Avondale Bowling Club is his project. So like he's a rapper, and he brought this jazz bands that plays with him. It's fantastic.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
just like the shit. It was great. What was the name of that DJ, Taylor? Do you remember? Massive, big DJ. I don't know if David Dallas it could have been. That was a great
Well, that was a
hip
hip
hop
hop night we had last.
It was a
year.
fun hip hop.
Yeah.
We missed the last one with Jess B.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the David
That
Dallas
Was that
night.
the one?
Dallas.
Yeah, David Dallas
Oh.
was a headliner. That's basically what I remember it on.
What
was
did we
who's
do
the
the year
headliner.
before? There must have been.
No, we had like Wax Mustang and Homebrew.
Ah, yes, that was
like
good.
our hip hop
Sorry.
night
That was
the
so
year
funny.
before.
That's right, man. It was Homebrew, but it's the same guy. It's Sam Scott, his name, isn't it?
No idea.
Yeah. So he's got these projects. He's a solo artist, but he's got Homebrew and the Avondale.
Yeah.
Bowling Club.
Okay, yeah.
And that was good.
That was a
Yeah,
good
Homebrew
gig.
was
That
really
was
good.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good when hip hop artists bring bands, to
Yeah.
play. It just
Yeah.
adds so much.
I
value
think
to
so
it.
too. Yeah, I've seen a couple of good hip hop bands that bring like guitarist, drummer, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
and it's like international ones. Pretty mean.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We support that, guys. We
Yeah.
support the hip hop for sure.
Yeah.
I always say, I'm like, wow, if there's I'm into rock and roll, so I'll always go to a rock and roll gig. But like good hip hop,
Absolutely.
the vibe is so right,
Yeah.
Like when you're
Yeah.
at a gig and it's good. It was like last night. It was like not my cup of tea, but the sound was good.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this is very nice. You know, like the vibe was.
It was real
good.
chill, It was,
Yeah.
it was cool. Yeah.
There was a Winston surf shirt
Yeah.
and Flamingo Pier, New
Flamingo
Zealand.
Pier.
Flamingo
Yeah.
Pier.
Lord Echo. Yeah. It was cool.
It was great. We got questions
What?
from the audience.
Questions?
Yeah, there you go. You
I
guys
didn't know
are
about this.
you guys are popular, man. You guys are
Oh my
popular.
God.
So, Ronald says, Ronald gone. Hi, Ronald. Thank you. Hello. Listening to Lee Harper episode at ALTBAYS Show last week. He came here last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said about building an event arena in the next 10 years around Whitianga. Would it be a problem in the future of Coroglen Tavern?
I guess it possibly could be. I don't know. It depends. We're a
He's
small
probably
venue.
looking at
I'm
a lot more
picking
people than
yeah,
what we're looking at. Yeah.
Right.
something along the lines of the Waterways concert. You know, what's that? 15,000 people. You know, like we can't compete with that. We're just
Yeah.
a small gig.
Yeah, we can still have like 6
Yeah.
good concerts over summer,
Yeah.
and then they still have the Waterways concert,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
doesn't affect us at all.
Right.
You know.
That could be your expansion though. You could go into managing that side. You know,
Well, yeah, yeah.
perhaps.
It's just
Bring the hip hop acts.
Yeah,
Oh,
we,
is that-
don't
is
get,
that-
we don't get offered that very like hip hop bands very often.
Really?
Not
Shame.
really. Yeah,
You need to
so-
throw it to you. What's that group text that you've got?
Yeah, we'll
the tag-
Throw it
the
to
tag
them.
them,
Man.
yeah.
I'll go on that list and tell me when you get
Yeah.
some hip hop acts, and I'll be like, yeah.
Chuck it through.
And it's funny because when I talk to my friends here, we're always like, "Oh man, who would we like to see?" You know, like hip hop names always pop
Yeah.
up. It's always like, "Oh yeah, that group." Well, it's the most popular genre in the world. Is the most like now it's past country music. Country music was always
Wow,
top,
yeah.
and now hip hop is.
It just sounds like you're just making
I'm
stuff
not.
up.
I'm not.
Country music was the top.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah,
This
man.
is not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah. And now hip hop is just like it's everywhere.
How can it be the top? Name 5 country music
Have
artists.
you been to
man.
America?
Come on.
Like,
Man.
whoa.
Come on, man. Yeah. And
It is all
and country for each country has its own country. You know what I mean? Like it's the thing that each country will relate as their own country music.
Is
But
Wagon Wheel country music?
I would say so.
Never heard it.
Good on you. Bless you. I wish I was you.
I've only heard them talk about it on Radio Aotearoa. How much they hate
This
it.
show is one of the biggest supporters of Wagon Wheel not wanting to. It's the same when I tell people to dislike our videos. The same effect. We don't like Wagon Wheel. but we still promote.
I heard disliking a video, like clicking that, has the same effect on algorithms and the like.
It doesn't really matter. It just brings attention. It brings engagement. Anyway, the next question is from Gabe. Michelle and Jed, how about a local festival with local musicians? I feel like we need more space for our beautiful local artists.
That would be amazing.
That would be a cool
Yeah.
thing.
That would
eh?
be a very, very cool thing. Yeah, totally open to that. 100%.
We support that, and
Yeah.
we know some cool names. So
Yes, we
we'll
need to
blast them.
collab with a few of
Yeah.
you guys that know
Yeah.
all these artists
So,
around.
so one of the things that we want to do, and I was telling you when we were talking about bringing you guys to the show, like we love the event part of things, you know, like and we see potential for bringing artists to this New Zealand touring thing
Yeah.
that we miss so much, you know, because we have the quirky small venue in Whitianga that would bring 50 people maybe, but then we also have the Coroglen Tavern that would bring 2,000 people, you know, like, so we
Yeah.
really want to bring more attention to the Coromando, and obviously if you have opening acts that are locals, the locals are gonna go,
For sure.
you
Yeah.
know. So Gabe, good question, man. We work on that. Katy Mwai says, Michelle and Jed are awesome. My ex, and then she explains why.
Oh no. What have we done?
My ex got wasted at a gig some years ago, and they treated him as king until he was good to go home. Love your work, guys.
He got free chips.
He got rich.
Bastard.
He joined the kindy.
So this is the, I'm gonna read the next one, but this is such a, like, when you say kindergarten, like it feels like it, You
Yeah.
guys are looking after people, like it's a big one.
We are.
Can
Well,
Kindy's
they
probably
can't- and
easier,
they
right?
can't look after themselves. You know, like they're just
Not
you know,
capable.
They're not capable, and
No.
they are by the time they leave. You know, like we look after them, we bring them in, we keep them warm, we, like you say, give them chips, give them
Yeah.
water, make sure that they're okay. You know, we don't want anyone to get hurt. That's not what we're there for. You know, we want everyone to have a good time, but unfortunately, sometimes that good time is too good.
Yeah. So do you guys have any like first aid or something if something happens, someone ready for like a first approach? Or?
Yeah, so the like ambulance and all that, we've only had to call the ambulance a couple of times.
Yeah.
We've never had anything really serious.
We don't have them
happen,
there
thank
on
God.
standby
No,
as
they're not.
such.
They're not on standby. But everyone's aware when
They
we're
are
at a
aware of
Coroglen
the shows.
concert.
Yeah.
The depends on the time of year. Sometimes in summer, if we need help or something, or we ring Healthline first, or we'll ring somebody if we need to.
Healthline is so good, aren't they?
They're amazing. And normally it's just give them some water or give them some chips, you know, keep them warm.
Give them the
all the normal stuff, you know, and just make sure that they're okay. And it's not tying up an ambulance for no reason. But yeah, when we have needed them,
We can generally nurse them for half an hour until
Yeah.
the ambulance turns up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But not like we said, touch wood, nothing serious is
Police, though.
Really?
What about the police?
They come all the time. So
bet.
no, they're actually really freaking good. They
Or do they just make a presence? Sort
Always,
of thing?
always.
Oh, yeah,
So
cool.
Yeah, it's good.
we normally get the ones that come from Hamilton, over
Yeah,
summer,
around that area.
and they're based out Cooks Beach. But they'll come and see us before we have concerts. We get their personal number. So if we need them, I can call them and it goes directly to them. But they come and do a walk around. It just chills the vibe sometimes, We work well with them. They're really good.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. They're normally there at the end of the night too, just as people are coming out, getting them onto buses. That's normally when people start getting a little bit restless, waiting around. But no, they're awesome. I welcome them.
That's good.
Do you guys still have that area at the back for the camping sites? Because I remember one gig that I spent the night there. It was a few years ago, and then I never had to stay for the night. So I don't even know. Do you guys still do that? Opening that area for cars?
That's the
and for,
farmer. So that's the neighbour. That's him deciding whether or not he wants to do that. So normally he does. This last summer we didn't. It didn't happen. COVID is a real crappy thing, bit worried about spreading,
Yeah. I think
plague.
they didn't have any way to sort of determine who was going to be camping at their campsite and whether
It just
they
didn't
were
work
going to be.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've got Gemma down the road, and normally there's a bus that will go down to her. Go Kiwi put on a bus down to Riverglen, and Gemma can take hundreds. If she's ready for them, she can have,
Yeah.
man, we can book her out.
Because that's only like, how far down the road? Like 5K?
3Ks?
3Ks?
3.2, I think it is.
So it's only not even 5 minutes, something like that. Eh?
Yeah, no, it's good.
5-minute bus ride to the pub and then a 1 hour walk back.
Yeah.
Miss the bus.
Although that's not too bad, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm guessing there's no street lamps, though. It might be a bit of a...
Yeah, everyone has a phone. It's got a torch.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
If it's not in the toilet, of course.
This is great.
No.
Because I the nights that I spent there, I think we were actually lucky that people were pretty chilled. But I was wondering, I was like, whoa, some nights must go wild here,
Yeah.
because people are coming from the gig. And that's the thing in New Zealand, like, this is just a cultural thing. Like, in Brazil, we go out late, like things start late. And here, it feels like when you are at the peak of your craziness, like, and you're drinking and like, and everybody in the bar is like, yeah, go have another one, like last call, like, and then when you're at your peak, they kick you out.
Yeah.
They say it's 1 a.m. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Time to fight outside.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why? Like if you keep people entertained, like if of course, if you find the right balance of keeping them cool and you prolong the party, it's good for the bar, like
the
they make
bigger
a little-
cities do though.
Of course.
Let
Yeah.
you drink till like,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And then you
they've
go
got
to
the
the
license to do
casino
that.
and you could carry on drinking for
Yeah.
the rest of the night.
We're
as long
only
as you don't get
licensed
kicked
to
out.
1 o'clock in the morning, so we can't serve alcohol any time after that. In Auckland, I think it's 4 o'clock. You can
Yeah, they're all,
have the bar open.
It varies.
It's different. For us personally, because we've got to get people back to where they came from, closing it down earlier just works a hell of a lot better. Sending people out at 1 o'clock in the morning and they've still got an hour to get home or something. That's a big shift.
Right. But then I was always thinking about the camping, like the place. I was always
Oh,
like,
no,
whoa,
they still party.
the party's going to the
Yeah,
camping
that's where
grounds
they go.
now, right? So there's nothing to do with you guys. Like you only promote if the farmer said, yeah, I'll open the space and people can come.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. I hope he does it again. It was cool. Like, I could see the potential. I was looking around and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, everybody's so excited still, like it was a good vibe.
Yeah, the camping places are so much better, Like, when you can go to a festival, like an all-day festival or a 3-day festival or something, and then camp up and stay the night. Like, that's mean.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool vibe.
Yeah.
Like, do you, because you guys have one, you like over Christmas, you'll have show after show after show, like day after day,
yeah.
eh?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like, man, that must be pretty intense.
Yeah.
I die by the second week, like that first week of January, I'm like just dead.
Especially because there's the running of the general day-to-day pub during the day also.
Yeah.
It's not just the gig.
No. And like
You know?
after last night, we got home 2:30 after shutting everything down properly. Probably didn't get to sleep till 3:30.
Because you're
gotta
pumping,
wind
you're
down,
still
you know?
vibing, yeah.
Like you've been hustling, you've been like working hard and walking around and trying to entertain these people and then get them on the buses and then, you know, it rains and then you got to do this and holy crap. And then you finally get a minute to like breathe and it's silent, like it's so silent and you can hear them ringing in your ears still. You don't just go home and go straight to sleep, you know, you've just got to
Check your Facebook or whatever. Right?
just take a minute, you know,
Have a couple of gins.
yeah. And
Like you didn't have light enough on your face, you go and check your phone after. Like, God
no,
damn.
we actually sit in silence.
Yeah.
We have a drink and we reflect, you know,
Yeah.
like because sometimes
Good. Best time,
stuff
for us.
happens and it's like, well, that was shit. How can we stop that from happening again? And then
Yeah, you can
we're
talk it out, run through the night.
constantly changing the way we run things. You know, like we're not perfect, we know that, but you know, there's lessons that we learn from all the time from every gig, and that's the time where we're just like, right, write it down, think about it.
We'll do this next time.
We'll do this, yeah.
Yeah.
Who gives more trouble, girls or boys?
Girls for sure.
Oh, Brett, it's not for you the
for
question.
different reasons. For different reasons, they can both have their moments. Yeah, boys are fighty. Boys can be fighty.
Yeah.
Girls be cry.
They can be scratchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the girls will wind up a guy and then the guy just has to go take it out on another guy sort of thing,
Yeah.
you know? So it can be...
Yeah, it's
all
a
of the above.
lot of things mixed into a lot of different situations.
So they're all trouble.
They're all
Everyone can
Yeah.
be trouble.
Have you seen some good girls fights happening and then you're like, what?
Some good girls.
Oh well, you know, yeah, not the amateur one, like the real
Yeah.
rolling and
I
like.
haven't.
I have
No.
not.
I haven't.
No, Jez?
No. And even the boys fighting, it's not like a big brawl. It's not a big rumble. You know.
It gets
It's-
broken up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's Coroglen, so everyone's like, just chill, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We have one more here. I think this one is for you, Brett. Bring
Me?
spades, end up with no mates.
Yeah.
Brett, don't you dare say anything bad about the Lion Red, best New Zealand beer ever. I think he works for Jed.
Who the hell's that?
Is he a
Ronald.
lion red?
It's our friend Ronald. Ronald gone. Well, people
wow.
have different opinions,
He
right?
needs to try Waikato.
Guys, where do you see Coroglen in a few years? Like, do you like to keep it the way that it is? Would you like to expand, to do different things?
We're always looking to change things up. You can't just stay the same all the time. As different things come up, you know, like if people approach us with an idea and we think, that's pretty cool, we'll do it. You know, like we're always trying to keep things interesting anyway.
Cool. I see a lot of potential for early things there, you know, such a beautiful space. I always thought about that, like an early start.
Yeah.
You know, like 12, 1 p.m., you know, like if you bring a cool act early, people get it. They'll be like, oh, cool, let's start partying early. And then it's impossible to keep going for that
you
long,
start
right?
early, finish early.
Yeah.
It works good.
Yeah, even when we have parties.
For you
we
guys,
always like,
We can go to sleep
Yeah.
and we can run the pub the next day still.
But isn't it cool when you go to a cool festival and there's a mean band at 2 p.m. and you are like sunshine and you're picking and you're loving it? I don't know. I love those early shows, you know.
I'd love at least maybe once a year a family friendly thing too, you know, like we have so many people, like when Fly My Pretties came, which are an absolute favourite of mine for a very long time, they're such a chilled out band that if you could have it a little bit earlier, you know, you could bring your kids and just put a picnic blanket down, you know, it's not going to be a 2,000 people rager, you know, like you'd probably get 500, set up some seats and just have a cool little family afternoon. I think that would be really rad too, because we've never done that. All our gigs are 18 plus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From your business point of view.
Well, yeah, exactly. But, you know, like not everyone has to drink. You know, food now is such a big part of our business. it's
Such a big part, you're giving it away.
only
Only when they've spent all their money on booze.
Yeah, they've probably spent
They've
enough.
paid for it in other ways, eh?
No, but it is a great idea because then sometimes it's about what you do, not the profits, because people will start to look at your
Yeah.
place, like
In a different light.
Different people will value it.
Yeah.
It will not be only like, oh yeah, it's always crazy. Oh, cool, they have something different, so you might
Exactly.
attract a new crowd.
And that's not going to take away from what we already do.
Exactly.
It's just adding something different, for families. Like, we'd love to take, when our kids were littler, it would have been cool to go to a little gig close to home, take the kids, have a chilled afternoon or early evening.
Well,
and-
quite a few of the day-long festivals will be family-friendly,
Yeah.
like Sound Splash and stuff in Raglan. Like,
Yeah, I think they
you
are,
can take
right?
your kids.
Yeah.
You can take your kids there. It's no
Yeah.
problem, and
Exactly.
camp there and
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I think is Parachute family-friendly as well. I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
Something like
I
that.
think they just have R18 areas, don't they?
Yeah. Even the big day out, I think, was like, I think it was like 13 plus or something like that.
Yeah, I went there when I was 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like you have to be accompanied by an adult or whatever if you're
Yeah.
like 13. But otherwise, they just have it blocked off, don't they? The drinking
Yeah.
areas, and then they have the general admission areas. kinda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. We support that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think, yeah, family day would be cool.
Yeah.
We'd
And you got a
we'd
little
to that,
drama
make
in the
a debut.
family, right?
Exactly. Right, let's do it.
Gotta bring Slade
Just
to
leave the
watch
kids
those
behind.
games.
Yeah.
He always talks about it. It comes with the drumsticks, and
Yeah,
I think
cool.
someone from a band gave like the drumstick holder for him. Was it?
Shelton
That was
from
Shelton.
Blindspot.
Yeah.
And he keeps that, man. He
Yeah.
always talks about it, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Like if when kids can watch a gig, it's so valuable for them.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa, okay.
Their first gig that we let them stay for was, years ago now, but it was with John Toogood. He was doing a solo show, and we'd only sold maybe 200 tickets. It was going to be really chill, and we're like, it was going to finish at 10 too, eh? Like,
Yeah,
it was
it was
really early
early.
finish.
Yeah.
And so we let the kids stay, and they were just like, wow, that's so cool.
Yes, just the magnitude, like
Yeah.
the sound and everything for them.
Exactly.
I don't mean to bag on John Toogood again, but like,
Yeah, no, what is this problem with him?
what does his solo career sound like? Like, what's his solo? Does he sing like just She Had songs, or has he got his
She
own
had
ones?
songs acoustic.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he sings lots of other things.
Yeah, he
too,
does
eh?
others
Like,
too, but he
yeah.
does a lot of She Had songs
Yeah.
that are just acoustic.
Oh yeah.
But it's
Prob-
really cool. It's
And
really
probably
nice.
he
Yeah.
writes those lyrics anyway. Probably. It's
Oh, I
his
imagine
songs,
so.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh no, I was just curious because
Yeah,
I haven't heard any of
it's
his
good.
solo music before, like on the rock or
Yeah.
anything like that.
He's got good banter too. I don't know if he even does a solo thing on the rock. I don't think it's like a.
Yeah, I think it's just shows,
It's
eh?
just a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe when the rest of the band don't want to tour or whatever, and he just wants to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah.
definitely the front man of the band, isn't he?
Yeah, I
Like,
think he loves touring as well. Yeah.
He interviewed Dave Grohl not that long ago.
hey,
Yeah.
Wow.
what for?
Foo Fighters released a film, a feature film. It was like a horror.
Yes, I watched
Yeah.
a trailer of that.
Yeah.
Not so long ago.
And he
Looks funny.
Yeah, the interview not like person was like a video
Oh, yeah,
thing,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
still pretty cool. Yeah. So anyway, okay, Brett. Just to wrap it up, they're not gonna tell us who they're bringing this summer, but who do we want to see in the Coroglen Tavern, man?
From Australia, Kylie Minogue.
Kylie
No,
Minogue?
is that Kylie Minogue? No. So
I
close.
cannot release this information.
I bet it was sell
Don't say
tickets.
it.
Is it Australian hip hop? Man, it's the
Just the
worst.
bands that you would love to see it, man. There you go.
Yeah.
That's easier.
No, I'd obviously like to see some hip hop, but like otherwise, yeah, some New Zealand or Australian sort of metal bands would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't. Apart like Devil Skin is probably the hardest sort of music that we've had.
Yeah.
We've never. had a
I
metal
understand
band.
once you go to
Yeah.
like more of a likable genre that I would like, it gets a little bit more obscure and how many people you're going to pull
Sure.
into the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
going to have to come from the cities to really fill it up, eh? You
Yeah.
know?
But hip hop seems to be something that most people would appreciate.
Oh
right?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some cool ads, you know, American and English even hip hop artists, you know, that would be pretty sweet.
Nice. There you go.
You?
Oh,
Who's your
man.
pick?
I don't know. Well, I like those bands that sometimes they come and that's how I see it. Like the Coroglen would be cool. Like sometimes a band comes to New Zealand, but then they would bring like a side project to a small towns, you know,
Yeah.
like so like even when you mentioned like Foo Fighters or Chili's, I was like, wow, imagine having like a small show, just like the John Thorogood guy, you know,
Yeah.
like some cool bands, but you bring like a side project for an exclusive, because the Coromando seems to be so attractive for these artists, you know, like I think they would love
Absolutely.
to come
Yeah.
to our area, you know, like, and I always think, oh, the Coroglen could try an alternative thing, you know, and might attract people. But I think I'm on the hip hop vibe as well right now, you know, like of having a cool solid band
Yes,
playing.
awesome.
I don't know.
We've got another question here. We've been asked this by Josh McMurdy.
There you go.
Jelly.
How good are you at darts?
I'm better
How
than
good are
you, Josh.
you, Josh? I'm shit.
Oh, you shit at darts. Damn.
Yes, we're both shit together. So we had a darts comp. When was
This
it?
time last week.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and Josh was my partner, and we were freaking terrible. Yeah, we did not play good darts.
Is that something that, because you guys used to have quite a lot of darts out there, eh?
We still do.
We
you
do.
still, and you still do. That's
Yeah.
what was
Yeah,
the
Thursday
next part of my
night's our
question.
night. Yeah, that's
Okay.
our Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And
No.
a lot of people come out for that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no. This time of year, it's a little like it's the start of the season, so it goes all year, but it starts in March. Was it April? Start of April, was it this year?
Yeah, it was a little later this year.
And goes right through to November on a Thursday, and it's a good time. Anyone can come. It's freaking
It's social.
cool.
You don't
It's
need to
very
be a
social.
competitive dart
No.
player. You just come and have a good time and throw some.
But there's some. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah,
It's with my phone.
It is you.
It's my, for some reason, my. Yeah, okay.
You were about to ask something? You were about to say something, Brett, before your phone went crazy?
No, my wife is messaging me again. That's all right.
Come on, Brett.
I don't know. It just said Phoebe Bridges, but then my phone was making too much
Oh.
noise, interfering.
Oh, an artist, Phoebe Bridge.
Is that an Australian artist
Is it?
that we should know?
Oh God, I feel terrible not knowing. who
Yeah, I
that
don't know
is.
either.
It's probably just a real person who lives in Fitty, and it's. I just haven't read.
An artist.
I just haven't read the other half of the message because I threw my phone away because it was interfering.
Fair enough.
Shout out.
Tell us you'd
Phoebe.
have to
Yo.
message on.
Yes,
message
shout out
on
to
thing. Yeah, I don't, it's got to be from the east coast of Australia though, right? Like, was it Byron Bay Band or something? Hopefully, I reckon it's Kylie Minogue. I'm putting my money on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me know. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's be patient and see. So to find the Coroglen Tavern, you guys are on the social medias.
Yep.
Um,
Facebook, Insta, website. We're pretty active on there.
All the
you know.
standards.
All the
All the
standards.
standards.
Yeah.
Cool. And where's the Coroglen Tavern?
It is right in between Whitianga and Taira on the main road into town. It's not too far away.
Gumtown.
Gumtown,
Gumtown,
that's
yeah.
it.
There
Yeah.
you go. Fantastic. So for our listeners who haven't been to the Coroglen Tavern, big opportunity. Any coming up gigs that you guys can talk about? Or no, now we have to wait for the season.
Well-
Oh, no, because sometimes you do mid-year
Well, obviously,
things.
Salmonella Dub was meant to play on Saturday. Unfortunately, they got the Rona. So we're talking with them. We'll rebook them for like a third time.
Yeah.
COVID's
True,
been
eh?
real
Yeah.
bad with us and trying to get them here. So they will definitely be on our
It'll
radar.
feature at some point.
Yep.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah,
That's
bring
good
them
to
back.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, mister.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks,
you.
Taylor.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Jed and Michelle, what a
cool.
pleasure.
Awesome.
Bloody good. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yes, we'll bring you guys sometime soon when we get the big Foos and Red Hot Chili Peppers to the tavern. We'll bring you guys.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.
So we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. on YouTube, and then these shows become available on the podcast platforms. Just pick your favorite one. We're back on Wednesday with Mr. Adam from Blue Fridge Brewery. Fabian is gonna try to teach him a little bit about brewing beer. He wishes, he dreams. He's gonna bring his own brew, so it's gonna be funny.
Oh.
I know, right? Yeah, he's gonna get a lesson from Adam, so I think you wanna watch that. Thanks so much for supporting us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, talk about the show to your friends, and yeah, thank you. Bye. Ciao.